Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is going on? It's your boy Preston, Fat Samurai Guy, hanging out in the movie dojo with a legend today. That's right, Nathan Shepka, director, actor, martial artist. He's done it all. Welcome to the show, brother.
All right, how's it going?
Yeah, man, it's good to have you here, man. I know you're extremely busy promoting that movie, and we're going to get to the movie, baby. That's right. We're going to start locking and we're going to start loading. We're going to do it. Yes. Oh, yeah. But it's great to have you here, brother. And we're gonna get into it a little bit. But man, how did you get into the industry, man? Inspirations and motivations.
I was always quite a big film fan. Growing up, I actually kind of started out making, home movies, if you want to call them that, on YouTube, and then eventually went into kind of short films, which were, I suppose, were a bit of a trial run in many ways for doing features. I did 7 short films, and then kind of 2018, 2019 moved on to feature films. So I've always been a big action movie fan. So naturally, that's my kind of go-to genre. But we also do some, horrors, thrillers, and whatnot in between times just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I mean, well, that's how a lot of extremely talented filmmakers today get their start with short films.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that, and there's some amazing short films out there. But speaking of horror thrillers and crime thrillers and all that, tell us a little bit about When Darkness Falls. We got going on here. Look at that poster. That's how you do a poster, baby.
Yeah, no, the artwork is quite nice. I can't take credit for that. That was a distributor, yeah, When Darkness Falls was actually a film that we shot kind of during the latter half of lockdown in late 2020, and it's sort of based on or inspired by a 1970s British movie called And Soon the Darkness, which two British girls went on a cycling holiday in rural France. They remade it, I think, I can't remember the year, but it had Carl Urban and Amber Heard in it, so they remade it in the States as well. But we kind of flipped that around a bit, and it's two American girls that go a hiking holiday in the Scottish Highlands, and one of them goes missing. So it's kind of playing into that kind of old-fashioned thriller type thing. It's quite slow burn. It's quite twisty, especially towards the end, and it kind of builds, I think, quite well towards the end. But we wanted to do a bit of an old-fashioned pot boiler, and obviously the Scottish Highlands provides quite an interesting backdrop. Because what we're kind of, it's obviously picturesque and beautiful, but we were fascinated with playing with the idea of the total isolation and what happened if you were out there in the middle of nowhere and
Yeah.
something went wrong, kind of thing. So
Copy that, man. But yeah, this looks good. This looks good, man. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. And there's my man right there. There's my brother. That's right, pulling out the piece. But yeah, man, that's cool. That's awesome that you have a plethora of different genres you're playing around with, thrillers and crime, action, and all that kind of stuff. Martial arts. That's what it's all about. That's right. Spreading
yeah.
your wings, man. Having fun, being creative. Telling your story. That's what it's all about, man. Yeah. Being a storyteller. But yeah, I definitely have to check this. Where can we watch this?
So that's on VOD and DVD in the States. So it's on Amazon, Tubi, Vudu, Peacock, and a few others. And then it's just been released in the UK. So in the UK, it's on Amazon, Sky Store, and what have you.
Nice. There you go, guys. Everybody watching right now. There we go. T Virus in the house saying hello, Fat Samurai Guy. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, yeah, yes. There you go. Oh, you're almost at 30K. Yeah, I appreciate you the support. Thank you so much, my friend. Yes, the channel's on the rise. We're on the rise. We're working hard. But it's what the channel's all about is our love for action movies and martial arts and talking about it and spreading it and getting the word out there. And that's why it's kind of pretty awesome to have this podcast where we could talk to these talented filmmakers like Nate here, and we can get into it and spread the word. Now, when I saw this movie right here, what? Holiday Monday, baby. Oh yeah, when I saw this movie right here, which you guys can watch right now, it's actually on Tubi. This movie made me smile, my friend. It made me smile, and I was kind of like, "This was my introduction to you." So when I
Okay.
when I saw the movie, I was like, I was like, wait a minute. I think this guy likes what I like. I was like, I'm getting the 80s action vibes and 90s action movie vibes here. Okay. I see what this guy's doing here, man. So yeah, I really enjoyed Holiday Monday with you and old Colin there. So I gotta ask, before we even get into that and then merge it into Lock and Load, what's some of your favorite action movies of the 80s and 90s, man?
Oh, probably the original Rambo trilogy,
Yes.
Commando, absolute classic. I like a lot of the Chuck Norris, Charles Bronson canon movies as well. If you
Yes.
know, I
Yes.
guess Van Damme, Bloodsport, Kickboxer. Seagal was more 90s. Some Jackie Chan movies from the 80s, Police Story,
Yeah.
Die
Yeah.
Hard. I mean, the 80s were Predator. Actually, the 80s were probably the sort of peak of classic action movies. If you
Yeah.
compare it decade to decade, I would say 80s, maybe 90s. You got Lethal Weapon. There's just so much in there.
Yes, yeah, there you go. The Predator poster right there, man. Representing Predator right there. But I mean, see, we're brothers already. You said Chuck Norris, Charles Bronson, and Canon Films. That's it. We're brothers. But yeah, I was definitely getting that vibe. I was definitely enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, man. And for those of you that are watching right now, here's a little slice of Holiday Monday. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what it's all about. I had to give him a little taste, Nate. I had to give him a little taste. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. And I always champion this. Some of the best action movies out there have great villains, you know. And how many action movies have you seen, Nate, where you don't even remember who the villain was?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I always say, I mean, it's probably not me that said it. I think it came from somewhere else. But an action movie is only as good as the bad guy. And I think if you do look at any of like the classic action movies, like like Lethal Weapon, like Die Hard, Under Siege, whatever, the villains are always really strong. And I mean, it makes a better Bond movie as well if the Bond villains, good. It tends to heighten the movie. So I always
Yep.
think it's quite important to give the audience a good bad guy, and you know, so I mean, personally, I've not played too many of them, but I always kind of say to people, if it's an action movie, go wild with it, do what you want, be a little bit over the top, whatever you want to do, kind of thing, because it's entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. I mean, especially with the Bond movies. I mean, look at Javier. Everybody remembers Javier from Skyfall. Nobody remembers the villain from Quantum of Solace.
No.
uh, but yeah, do you think around this time with Holiday Monday, do you think you saw yourself improving as a filmmaker and director? Because look at this beautiful shot here of our villain. Did you think like you're getting your hands dirty, you're diving in, full force, and you're just like, hey, I'm kind of getting the hang of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly Holiday Monday was our first feature, so it's a little bit rough around the edges. When I look back on it, there's sort of some scenes where you're like, okay, that's not bad, and then there's other scenes where they've turned out really well. Some of the actions not bad in it, the shootouts and stuff like that. That was one that in our mind, because we do relatively low budget things, you're always trying to put as much money on screen as possible. So, you look for a progression there in terms of production value. And I think even going from Holiday Monday into Lock and Load, we wanted the look to be much more, visual, lots of bright colours, have some really nice lighting in there, that sort of teal and orange look. So as we progress, we kind of give each film a specific style or look for specific inspirations. Holiday Monday, we kind of just set out to make a kind of colourful looking 80s action movie, which is what Lock and Load is as well. But for us, it's always important to kind of have a progression in terms of quality, because ultimately everyone wants to get better at their craft, don't they?
Yes, and that was a hell of a progression from Holiday Monday to Lock and Load, which we're going to get to in a little bit here. But man, I mean, speaking of rough around the edges, and you going all in, man, this bump you took in Holiday Monday, man, I was like, holy shit, Nathan's taking the director's taking bumps. This power bomb through the table and the glass. I was like, oh my goodness. And I love how you had an alternate camera angle so that we could actually see it was you that took that bump. I mean, was this a one take, one and done thing, or did you get slammed several times?
No, I mean, sometimes we'll do the repeat angle thing, you know, because like Commando, it's that kind of cheesy 80s thing. I mean, it's probably a little bit outdated now, but if you're doing a throwback, but no, that was a one take thing. And actually, what had happened was the glass. So obviously, sugar glass or breakaway glass is made to spec, but it's very expensive. And I was over at a prop store near where I stay, and I can't remember what I was in there for. I think it was actually breakaway glass bottles, so they keep a load of those in stock. But he also said, he's like, we've got this massive box just full of these sheets of breakaway glass, and he's like, I think they were for a film called Sunset Song, which is based on a kind of period novel. And he's like, these were shelves. He's like, but you know, they were left over from production, and I was like, yeah, I'll take them. So I took this huge box because they usually have springs in them and everything like that. So the glass sort of levitates in there, you know, floats a little bit like your kneecap just in the middle of the box. So it's usually the packaging's huge. But I took it and I kept it in storage until I could find something to use it on. And I was like, yeah. So actually we used it for that. And then there's another bit where I'm sort of thrown into the side of what's meant to be like a glacier's van. So it's got the sheets of glass in that as well. So, you know, I had to use them, but I was like, yeah, I'll take them. No problem.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it's one of my favorite moments of the movie, man. Really enjoyed it. Now, when you made Holiday Monday, were you thinking trilogy, or you were just like, let's just make Holiday Monday the best that we can with the limited resources we have. Let's just do the best we can with it and kick ass and take names. And then you just say, hey, you know what? Holiday Monday did okay. Let's go ahead and sequel it. Or were you thinking trilogy?
I mean, I think that there's certain films that you kind of know they're a one and done. So you know, if all the characters die in it, or if it's like when Darkness Falls is a kind of contained story, you would never really do a sequel to something like that. But
Yeah.
the idea for Holiday Monday kind of almost came from Die Hard with a Vengeance, whereby you have like an action film, the bulk of which takes place in one day, and the heroes kind of get progressively bloodier, and the action gets a bit bigger towards the end. So as a loose kind of concept, I always thought, oh, there's probably, you know, waiting this for a sequel. And actually, I'd probably come up with the idea for Lock and Load, or how that was going to play out towards the end of post-production on Holiday Monday. But it's like anything else, you know, you do get ideas for other, you know, installments. So again, I've already kind of got the third installment pretty much mapped out. And you know,
Sorry, I got excited there. I'm sorry about that.
And what direction we need to take it in. But you know, I think sometimes you look at a film and you go, oh yeah, we could make another one of those. It's quite a cool idea. So yeah.
Nice. Well, you've made me a happy man, because I was hoping to say, please let this be a trilogy. Come on, this is gonna get even bigger and better and badder. But speaking of bigger and better and badder, let's go ahead, for everybody watching right now. Let's go ahead and check out the trailer for Lock and Load. Let's do it.
So what's going on? Stokes is missing.
I got a call around 8 a.m. They said they needed him in for an urgent operation.
International arms dealer. We found out that Steiger was closing a contract with a terrorist.
We both need this deal to go through as safely as possible.
Sting operation went south. Stokes went missing.
We'll come looking for him. I'd rather hope you would tell me who your friends are. The two cowboys that are intent making us a bank holiday to remember.
nice night to die.
You first. Thought about moving the target closer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, ho. What? That trailer scratched the action itch, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. It was such a fun progression starting with the first movie, going right into lock and load. And I was just like, whoa, we are bigger, better, and badder. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, man. So let's take a look at that again. And by all means, we're going to share your behind the scenes. I know we can't talk spoilers, but because I want you guys to go out and see this movie, everybody watching right now. But yeah, we'll do a little behind the scenes fun. Definitely got to get into it here. Lock and load, man. Let's go ahead and watch this again. So how long did it take to make the film, Nathan?
I think we shot for about 22, 23 days.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Over the course.
impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I always say to Tom is a guy that I work with fairly regularly. So he wrote When Darkness Falls, but I always say to him, Tom, like time is important because like I know that a lot of people would crank it out in 12, 14 days, but you know, if you want that quality, then it's important to try and take the time and not make it feel rushed. I think we did shoot over a period of a good few months for logistics and you know, at the sort of indie level, you've got people's availability. We also kind of had the remnants of COVID still sticking around.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think we managed to kind of keep continuity not too bad because that's the other consideration you have to take in you have to take is that you know the longer a period you shoot it over, you know, people lose weight or people dye their hair or you know, so we were kind of fortunate that we managed to keep everything on an even keel.
Nice. Now look look at this. This is the perfect shot right here. Look at Colin right there. Shout out to Colin and Mr. Agent Stokes, Graeme there. Yeah, shout out to those guys. How long have you known Colin?
So I actually met Colin probably about 10 years ago now. He originally did some stunt work on a short film that I was doing called Four Floors, which was about a girl was being held hostage at the on the fourth floor of a building, and these two guys kind of fight their way through it. So I met Colin on that, who did some stunt work on it, and then I worked with him on another short, and then I got in touch with him about Holy Monday because aside from you know the action stuff, he's got quite a good sensitivity that he can and a likability that he brings to the part. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys have such good chemistry, man. I mean, that's important. That's important. You know, you want the audience to like the duo when they go on their adventures. You know what I mean? It's important.
Yeah.
But what I was impressed with, especially the first film, the gunplay, I was really impressed with because usually with smaller budgeted projects, they digitize the flashes and the flares. You know, the muzzle flashes of the guns, or they'll use something that kind of sprays out kind of fireworks type of.
Yeah.
But you guys did not. It looks
like. Yeah, no, I mean everything in Lock and Load certainly was. I think pretty much every single round that was fired was you know it was blank. But we work with a guy called Perry Costello, he's the only armourer in Scotland. So, but he does our explosions and special effects and also the weapons as well. So I've known Perry for about 10 years now as well, and he's become quite a close friend. So yeah, he's great resource to have.
Nice. But yeah, it's nice to see that, you know, it's nice to see that the real deal here. But yeah, it's important, the chemistry, you know, between both characters, and you guys play off each other so well. Now, again, what did I say about the first movie, right? Great villain. You got another great villain in this one. Like, I really like this guy. You don't want to cross this dude. Like, this guy's like, oh yeah, underestimate me, please. Please underestimate me. Yeah, he's just there's a challenge, this actor you've worked with before, correct?
Yeah, so Tony's in When Darkness Falls for a little bit as well. So yeah, he plays the sort of disgruntled barman at the local pub, the very unhelpful barman that just looks upon everyone with disdain. But Tony's got a great voice and it's the eyes as well for for villainous characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
me kind of gets typecast as the villain, but if you're good at something, then
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with it. Where's this location right here?
that was an airfield that I can't remember. I can't remember how I came across that, but it's sort of out in the middle of the countryside, maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes from where I stay. So it's like a privately owned airfield, as it is in the story, where people will come in and they'll house their planes in the hangars and then
Yeah,
go out and fly them. But they had some filming taking place in there before, so all the planes that you see in there, some of them had to get dragged out just because we had to have the center of the floor for filming. But all those other planes in there are just owned by flyers and people that rent the space at the airfield.
yeah. Great location. Great location.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look at those guns. Look at that. Look at that candy. You get a lot of candy in your movie, sir. That's right. There he is. There he is. Oh man. There he is. Stokes. I think the warehouse and the location where you have your fight at the very end. That's
Uh,
like I love those locations, man. Those are so good for finale fights and action sequences, man. So good.
Yeah, they always kind of look. They always production value wise, I mean that location basically kind of lights and dresses itself. You've got everything that you need there without bringing in too much. But I always think that those kind of increase the production value a little bit because any kind of bigger budget action movies tend to have a lot of industrial locations in them because they just seem interesting and dangerous, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You don't want to be end up in those kind of places. You don't know what's around the corner. You know what I mean? But martial arts. Did you learn on the fly, or you had a background? What's your martial arts background?
I honestly just learned on the fly. I
Yeah,
mean, Dave that I'm fighting there, he's got, I think most of his life he's done martial arts, so he does everything from cage fighting to
you could
he's
tell too in this movie. You could tell what's the way he moves.
yeah, and he's really skilled with weapons. So I mean, honestly, my anything that I know martial arts wise, literally I just learned from watching, Seagal, Van Damme, Chuck Norris. I
Yeah,
learned to do a sort of 360 by watching Van Damme. The Aikido throws and locks and stuff like that. I learned by
yeah.
watching Seagal. So I mean, I kind of choreograph a lot of the fights as well, so it feels second nature to me. I don't know how I would do in a street fight. If I was up some back alley and someone flicked a pocket knife on me, I'd probably call an Uber and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, but no,
but
that's awesome. That's awesome that you're putting in the work, the effort to learn and get better and better and better. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of some of the best martial arts actors out there learned on the fly. They learned
yeah, I
as
mean
they
Keanu Reeves and
yeah, look at that.
yeah.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Look at that. Oh, in the bread basket. Oh, that was a pretty good fight. But yeah, all these locations, man. All these locations, especially with Stokes's fight. And that's what I love about the movie is everybody has their chance to shine. You know what I mean? Like all the main characters have their fight. They have their big scene, which I
Yeah,
think is important. But yeah, look at this place. We throwing down here. I love your fight, Colin's fight, and Stokes's fight. All had different flavors.
yeah. Yeah. Stokes was probably a little bit more kind of down and dirty, and then
Yeah.
Colin. That's actually Colin's cousin, Laura, that he fights in the film that plays the chess master. So it's got a nice, it's got an interesting dynamic as well.
Oh, all right. How fun. How fun. But yeah, this was some good beat downs. Look at you go, Nathan. Look at that drop kick. Yeah, this location's great. And I love the lighting here, man. Was it hard to shoot and light in this area?
So I
Or
think,
pretty-
yeah, I mean, obviously you've kind of got slight inconsistencies, especially in the Scottish weather, where you get 4 seasons all in the one day, sometimes in the 1 hour. But actually, I think it stayed fairly consistent throughout this day. So we just we lit the inside and then kind of let the windows get blown out. But I'd said to Dave, the first fight, because we have two in the film, I quite like those little teaser fights. You know, like Dolph Lundgren versus Jet Li in the first Expendables, where it lasts a few seconds, but you know, then later on, shit's going to go down. The first one's kind of centered around the table, and some quirky stuff with the table. But then the main fight, I said to him, I was like, look, I just sort of thought, let's just have this in a room, almost like an arena. You know, like it's the end fight in kickboxer or something like that. You know, no gadgets, no props, no
Yeah.
flying through walls. Let's just go for something
Yeah.
old school.
Mano y mano. Let's do it. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great fight. And yeah, does she have a Taekwondo background? Because she did a lot of kicking.
Yeah. Laura's background's in Taekwondo, as far as I know. So yeah, I mean, she can kick crazy high.
Well, shout out to Laura, man. She did a great job. But this shot here, when I was watching the movie, the way she did the kick and the way you filmed the action, I was like, ooh, more of that. More of that, because it was so good. Like that. Like that's just perfect, man. Like,
Yeah,
just so good. And we champion that here on the channel. We talk about it all the time here. Like, please just show the goddamn action. Just show the action. Stop with the shaky cam. Stop with the quick cut editing all over the place. You know, you could just show it. You know, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the shaky cam or the quick cuts either, because it always to me just says that you're trying to hide something. I mean, I know that those that was made popular by like the Bourne movies and whatnot, and those are good movies, and they work for that set of films. But to me, I've always kind of preferred the. I know that the Bourne movies you feel like you're in the action, but this is obviously the kind of 80s throwback. So doing that style in here wouldn't have worked. I
Yeah.
prefer just to be able to kind of go wide and show the actors doing it for themselves.
Yeah, no, that you nailed it. You know, the Bourne movies are good. The first three are great stories with great characters that can get you through it. But when Paul Greengrass took over, it's just because the action's filmed pretty good in the first Bourne. But when Paul Greengrass took over, he was trying to do something realistic with the shaky cam, and there's a lot of defenders for that time for his style. But for me, being a martial arts movie fan, you know, growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was really frustrating because you're so invested with the characters of the Bourne movies, you're so invested with the story that you're like the action is the bonus, it's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, the cherry is covered with little shit. It's all right. I'll eat it, I guess. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, but just show the action. There's nothing wrong with being creative with the camera work, right? But still, you got to show the stunt men and women and the martial artists do their thing like that. You got to show it. And speaking of camera work, I was like, look at Nathan go. Getting creative, man. This is what it's all about. And the little flair to the fight. That is awesome. There he is. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Did you really blow up that house there? Or was it just like the outside of it there?
Yeah, so I mean, no, obviously the explosives were set pretty close to the door, but that was actually an Airbnb or like a holiday rental. We've got a really, really, I shouldn't be saying this actually on on a live stream, but we've got a really
Fine.
bad habit of wrecking those places, you know, and you go in and you think it's fine, we'll clear up everything exactly the way it was, and inevitably you never really do. That was on top of a hill, that house, and you can actually see the glass. Obviously, the front of the house is all glass, but you can actually see it shake when the explosion goes off. So I think it was pretty damn close to breaking the window. But the problem was the wind ideally would blow away from the house. But as soon as that explosion happened, the wind was coming towards the house. So literally all the debris and whatever flooded straight back into the house. And the whole place was covered inside and out. So we spent quite a long time cleaning it, but it's just, it was, we even had a fire hose and we're spraying the roof, but yeah, it just did not do the job. So yeah, we left that in a little bit of a mess. Film crews will always promise to leave it exactly as it was. Do they ever leave it exactly as it was? Probably not.
It's a little bit of cleanup.
Yeah.
You guys took care of it. But yeah, I saw the window, the glass there shake a little bit. But please tell me you've seen John Woo's Hard Boiled.
Yeah, oh, yes, I love that film.
Because that's what any big, large shootout in a large, gigantic warehouse, I always, I'm always thinking hard boiled. So
Yeah.
definitely getting some hard boiled vibes, especially with you with one of my favorite characters, Tequila, played by Chow Yun-Fat with the shotgun. So
Yeah.
you were getting your Chow Yun-Fat on right here, man. Yeah. Yeah, this is a great shootout. You really did a really good, everyone really, I know everybody worked hard, but you really did a good job of saying, hey, let's go ahead and give these people a finale, because it's a pretty lengthy, satisfying finale, because you get this big huge warehouse shootouts, then you get several different variations of fight scenes. You really you're spoiling us, Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my kind of qualms with direct-to-video movies, probably in the early 2000s, although still now, kind of direct-to-video action movies, whether or not they had the budget or not, they always seem to just die a death at the end. I always try and open with a bang, end with a bang, especially on action movies. You want to see that final set piece, but some of the sort of the Seagal and Van Damme movies that they made during the early 2000s, you're kind of thinking, oh, that just kind of fizzled out at the end. And it might have been a budgetary thing, time restrictions, whatever. But I think action movies, again, some of the best action movies like Commando and whatnot. I mean, that set piece at the end of Commando goes on for most of the film, it seems like. But that's kind of what audiences are looking for. Even stuff like Delta Force with Chuck Norris or Invasion USA. Again, the 80s action movies were great for having those really well put together finales.
Yeah.
So,
and you want to reward the audience, you know what I mean?
For sitting through it, yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's so important, no more action blue balls, action filmmakers out there. Okay, come on. It's funny with Commando, man. Somebody actually said, hey, there's a drinking game every time Arnold kills someone in that movie. Take a shot. I'm like, dude, you're gonna die. Okay, you're not gonna make it, man. But yeah, just great stuff here, and I love how you brought in the jiu-jitsu. Yeah, another great location for another good fight. Yeah. Now, love that shot. That's the shot right there. That's just great. Guns a-blazing. Yeah. That's what it's all about, man.
That was actually literally just lifted from the Expendables 2, where you have Arnie, Stallone, and Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's definitely stuff to enjoy in the first one and the third one, but I still have not seen the fourth one. I have not heard good things, Nathan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of, Statham, Stallone, Lundgren, the whole lot of them, but the fourth one was just a bit of a mess, to be honest. It was one of those films where you were sort of head in your hands because, I mean, I was sitting there thinking I could have made a better film than that. It just did not, it missed the mark on pretty much every department. And I don't usually say that. I'll usually try and find something, positive to say about a film, but it was just so, it's just a mess. actually, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like the third one because they did the whole PG-13 thing and brought in, a bunch of new actors, but actually makes the third one look a hell of a lot better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people that were shitting on Expendables 3 was like, well, it's not that bad now compared compared to the 4.
Yeah,
Plus the best thing about 3 is you have a great villain in Mel Gibson.
yeah,
He
yeah.
might be the best villain. Well, Van Damme was great too. So, great Van Damme. Who knew Van Damme would play great villains? Who knew?
Yeah, no, he was pretty good in that. I mean, I
Yeah.
always thought that he was a bit underrated as an actor. If you're
Yes.
familiar with all of these films, you watch them, he's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, obviously, when JCVD came out, everyone was like, "Oh shit, he can act." But
Yeah.
us hardcore fans knew that before JCVD came out. But yeah, love this shot. This is what it's all about: getting the gang together, having fun. Bringing us the action, the martial arts. That's right. Let's do this. Lock and load, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm excited for the third film already. I was like, I gotta ask him. I gotta ask him to do another one. Please do another one. But yeah, just a blast. And especially with you mentioning Lethal Weapon earlier is one of your favorites. It's one of my favorites. Definitely got a little bit of Lethal Weapon vibes going on in the film. Now, favorite Lethal Weapon movie.
This is probably unheard of, but I would probably put them all pretty much on an even keel. Just about. I reckon. I mean, one is a classic. Obviously, it's the kind of one that
Yeah.
started it all. But I mean, in terms of franchise consistency, every installment's pretty damn good. The fourth one, I know a lot of people, but the fourth one's great. I mean, you've got that
It's
great
fun.
three-way fight in the rain. You've got Jet Li, the bit in the dentist chair where they're all, with the that's great. Obviously, it's not quite as serious as the others,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I love them all. I'm actually. Hopefully the fifth one actually materializes because I think they could do something quite dark and gritty. And
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, I know obviously he's had some problems, but he's done some
Right.
really kind of edgy action movies like Bloodfather, and he's probably the ideal person to carry the torch in terms of directing. So I hope that comes off because I think that could be quite good.
Yeah, I'm a little scared, but we're gonna watch it because we're fans. Bloodfather, I'm glad you brought that up. Bloodfather's legit. That is an underrated movie.
Yeah,
More people need to see that movie, man. That's
yeah.
good stuff right there. Yeah, man, Lock and Load. Definitely, everybody watching right now, definitely go ahead and check it out. That's right. Brandon says, so badass. That's right. He's giving it the thumbs up. He's excited about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it was an honor to have you here, my friend. This is your second home. Welcome back. I'm welcoming him back already. Come on back whenever you get some free time, brother, and talk some more action movies and martial arts. Got to keep the genre strong. And hey, maybe do some more horror or action horror.
Yeah, so
I would love to see you do an action horror movie, bro.
That, I mean, to be fair, is something that I've kind of talked about with Tom. We've got a few ideas in the pipeline. We got a crime thriller coming out next year and another horror film. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, because we love talking horror here as well. So y'all know what you need to do. Check the links in the description box below. That's right. You can follow my boy Nathan on Facebook. That's right. Follow him on his filmmaking journey, getting bigger, better, and badder. That's right. Follow him. And hey, if you guys enjoyed yourself here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Check out Lock and Load. Before we wrap it up, Nathan, anything you'd like to say to your fans and followers?
No, I mean, if you've not watched it, check out Lock and Load. If you like 80s action movies, then check out Lock and Load. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's pretty tongue in cheek, and hopefully, it's got a good payoff at the end if you sit through it. So yeah, for fans of Commando and such like, I think it's probably your movie.
Oh yeah, Lock and Load 3. Do you have a title yet, or you can't tease it yet?
No, I do actually. Yeah, I think we're going to call the third one Hell to Pay.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah. No one steal that. before we
don't
make it
steal it,
known.
or we're coming after you. We're coming after you. All right, we're coming after you. Nathan has some friends. He knows some guys. We're coming after you. Don't be stealing some shit. But Brandon's throwing it up there. He had a good time watching. But yeah, man, always an honor to have talented filmmakers here in the dojo talking movies. So make sure you guys check out Lock and Load. It's coming out November 7th. Nathan, don't go anywhere, but I'll see you guys on the next one, baby. Take care. Lock and Load, baby. Let's do it.